What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 8 of the Talon Talk podcast. My name's Cloudy. I'm here to recap an exciting week with you guys. I got 3 guys here with me today. First one here, Callum. What's up?
Hi.
I also have Lucky here. How you doing?
Saw, dude.
And the special guest this week is Tylerlolz. He's been doing a lot of good stuff in the stream team and whatnot, so most of you probably already know him. What's up?
Dark Mount for the win.
There it is. All right.
Do you know what I've noticed actually as well? You always ask how we are doing. Cloudy, how are you doing?
Oh, horrible. I don't want to talk about it.
It's not
Let's
just double check he's actually hit record this time.
First of all, I forgot to record our first introduction. Second of all, Tottenham lost to a Tier 4 English team. So it is not a good day today. It's just not a good day. But we... I'm still doing the podcast.
Let's not forget the biggest insult, Cloudy. We gotta reveal... We'll reveal what the biggest insult is later, of course.
We will reveal the power rankings later, because Callum's a little salty.
It's not even the power
still.
rankings. It's even worse than that for you. You guys got.
I'm not ready.
You gotta leave with my big brain for a week.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, is dealing with you for a full hour. No.
Yo, someone's gotta be the Papega.
Alright, so some news. I really don't have too much news this week. We're in the Players' Cup round 2. One of the games has already been played this week, actually. But, so we'll get down to, 4 teams next week. So, some teams still fighting it out there. I really don't have much news, honestly. That's all I got.
Well, if you want a news flash, you can just remember Shimano's OP.
Okay, there it is. All right, but no, trade deadline's the end of the week, so there'll hopefully be some exciting stuff going on there that we'll discuss next on the next podcast. Maybe have a section for that. But let's start out with talking about last week's matches. There was a lot of good ones, actually, a lot of close matches. Not as many 4-0s, I guess, huh?
That's a change.
Yeah, I think there was only one.
The top 2 teams both losing maps, so mine and Bolter's agreement of the first team that loses maps takes second place is no longer in place because we both lost maps. So,
but which team lost more maps?
We don't talk about that.
So I think Dead to Right's gift gets placed first.
Well, somebody did rank.
We'll find out,
but we'll find out soon. Well, on that note, let's get into the matches, because the first match we have on our list here is Aftermath versus TLM. And without being any bias here, this game was actually really exciting, not only because it involved my team, but I think all around, anytime there's a reverse sweep, it's always pretty exciting. Being on the brink of, losing the match, and the match keeps going on until map 5, it's a lot of fun. What do you guys want to say about this match? It obviously ended 3-2 Aftermath. What do you guys want to say about this one?
So I didn't really watch the match, but let me get it straight. Aftermath was the reverse sweep, correct?
Yes, correct. Yep.
How'd you guys get that close to losing?
There was definitely some miscommunication over the first couple maps, but we kind of got our shit together. And, I told my team, I think we're one of the few teams in the league that has the composure to be able to come back from, and reverse sweep. That's just obviously me being biased, but I think it tells a lot about us, the fact that we were able to come back and do that. But
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I give Aftermath that,
mm-hmm.
but TLM losing that close, what does that say about TLM?
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's another thing I want to talk about is TLM we talked about it last week. They acquired Ginger and Promi. They had a great team already, and now they have an even better team. They're a very strong team. This team is, as I said last week, going to be contending for the top spots in the division, in my opinion. Obviously, Division 1's pretty stacked, but I think TLM is going to find a way to, if not take the 3rd seed, definitely up to the 2nd seed for sure. We'll see it in the power rankings later, but we all agree that TLM are definitely going to be one of the strong teams.
Hold on, for TLM to get into playoffs, they would have to win the next 3 games, and they would need Sens and Shimada to both lose the next 3.
Oh, is that how it is? Huh.
Yeah.
But also,
Okay.
I have an interesting stat for you, and I kind of looked back at it, and you can look back at it yourselves, okay?
Mhm.
Every time TLM have gone to a map 5, how many times have they won?
I mean, they've
0.
only won once, but I guess in map 5s they
Exactly.
probably won them. Yeah.
They've never won a map 5.
Wow.
Every time they have had the upper hand, they've always let it slip. If it goes to a reverse sweep, or if it goes to a map 5, it always slips.
I mean, I will say.
I just said I'd throw that out there because it's something I've noticed.
So this week they got a new captain. Ginger's now the captain of TLM, so that will have some
Right.
sort of effect.
That's a big effect. He's a good leader. He is
Exactly.
a very good.
So I'm
But he's
excited to see
Ginger.
that. And yeah, you're right. So looking at the standings, they'd need either Zenz or Shimada to lose out, basically. And then they'd have to win out is the only way. And you look at them, they're 1-3 right now, but I think they're a team that has the ability to win out. I mean, let me take a look at who they play here. So in the next 3 weeks, they're going up against
play
Valk's
Valkyrie.
Descent, who we've seen Valk's already kind of on a downhill slide here. They play against SDG, another team they could easily beat.
That's
And
2
they
easy
also
wins.
play against Eclipsed. Maybe that's going to be a little bit closer, but I think they can definitely win that match. So
They can, yeah. they
exactly.
can
So
win the next
TLM
3.
definitely has the ability to win out. Now it's just a matter of, do the other teams, does everything fall into place for them to make it into the playoffs? And if TLM make it into the playoffs, I think they're going a long way for sure.
Well, after the
How-
Zen Garden Shimada game is going to determine who they're rooting for to lose.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
True.
they
true,
play
true.
this week, so whoever
So they're
loses,
really
they
hoping
need.
Sens lose, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Callum, yeah.
this is definitely a big game. I
That's
mean,
what we're all thinking, right?
so
This is a
basically,
big week for TLM.
So we could basically say whoever wins Shimada versus Sens is clinched into the playoffs. They would have a spot where they could not possibly mathematically not make the playoffs. So that's
Well,
definitely a big
um,
game.
If
But it
they
will also improve their spot.
Well, yeah, and that
It'll give them
too.
a better playoff
Yep.
match as well.
So that's going to be a big game for sure. So we'll get into that match a little bit later here. But yeah, so Aftermath versus TLM. Anything you guys want to say else about this one that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, I just want to give a few outs to some individuals that really shone on the game. Slick, obviously, Lee Jong, the 4K barrage followed by
Oh
2K.
yeah, his farm
How
was
the fuck
amazing.
you guys didn't win that map? I don't know. Maybe you guys want to actually fight.
Shame!
Another shout out I want to give out is Cool Dude. Oh my god, his tires
Oh,
on
man.
Hanamura, his Junkrat, his Doom. You guys
Yep.
got fucked.
He was a thorn
But-
in our side the entire match. He is very good, very good.
Want to give shout out to Fat D. He, in my opinion, he was the strongest main tank. He blocked so many shatters. He hit huge shatters. He was where he needed to be. He had a really good game.
Yeah,
Ginger didn't feel as hot as I thought he would because he's just Ginger. So shout out to Ginger for that.
yeah. It was definitely a great game, and TLM had a lot of standout players, and they like I said, they've shown how strong they are. So let's
And Promi,
yes.
one more shout out.
Promi, shout out Promi.
Enjoy
love you.
Wait, she's on extended leave of cheerleaders right now.
Extended
I forgot
leave,
which
so
one.
she's still on TLM.
Enjoy studying for your exams, Promi.
Yeah, so let's keep moving on here. Our next match we have on the list here is going to be Valk's Descent versus Shimada. And before Callum goes off on a tangent here, we will.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it modest. I've got Sully here. I'm gonna be modest here, but I'm also gonna rub it in, and you all
Oh,
probably
go
would
on.
lose
Inside
this
your head,
again.
there's something else being said, so just say it.
I'm just gonna bring up the fact that every week you guys predict Shimada to lose, apart from the GG game, and every
Yeah.
week Shimada doesn't lose, apart from when
Yeah.
we fucked up as us.
This is true. I was kind of surprised at this one. I thought Valks have a very talented roster, but like I'm pretty sure I said the same thing last week, where Valk's like they're a team that has a lot of players, but they're not doing too much with them.
One thing I want to make a comment on that was their Kings Row, Valk's attack. They kept Blitz on that Roadhog for way too long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you noticed, he just wasn't getting anything done. And I talked to Blitz afterwards, and it was the team telling him to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it's decisions like that are screwing VD right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they ran double off, no shield time at all on
Yeah, and
that
it just
event. So I
allowed
hit
you.
the easiest shadows. I was
Yeah,
like,
the
yes,
shatters
fuck.
were nuts.
Yeah.
And then
So
the high noons afterwards as well.
Those high
Oh.
noons, I guaranteed 2K every time.
Yep.
yep. And
And then
Shimada.
the EMP, the bombs, just everything
Yeah,
was perfect.
But yet you somehow still lost Route 66.
We just, I'm just
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
was-
comment on that. I
that
wasn't
was-
playing, so I wasn't in that map.
Yeah, I mean, you
not my
got
fault.
Shimada had already won at that point, so it's
Yeah.
the same thing we saw in Glass and Foot versus Republic Rebels, which we'll get to next. But Glass and Foot won 3-0, and then Republic Rebels won the last map. So I mean, it could have been a 4-0 if they wanted it to be, and I think that's the same situation here, where it could have been a 4-0 if Shimada wanted it to be, but it just didn't fall the right way for
But
them.
every map counts at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at the
Oh, yeah.
standings, I mean those 2 and 3 spots in the division are
They
going to be
need every map they can get.
They're gonna with Zen's at 3-1 and Shimada at 3-1. You're gonna have to. I mean, Glass of Foot has a little bit different of a scenario where they're 4-0 and they kind of have their spot already. They have a 14 map differential, so they don't need any more maps. But definitely between Shimada
how
and
bad would
Zen's,
it
that
be
might
if
come down
just-
to it.
How
Good.
like big of a oh shit moment if they just lose a 4-0 every single game from now on? Like it would be.
That's-
like no
but
way.
the
this
thing
not
is-
not gonna happen.
the
That's
thing
not
is-
gonna happen. They
But
play
imagine
Dark
if it
Mountain
did.
next, and
The-
I'm sorry, I'm from Dark Mountain. We're not beating GIF.
I think that
or 4-0.
the thing is there, Glass of Foot could still lose 4-0 the entire way and still make the playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
so that
They'll
They'll
that's
just be
true.
ranked third instead of first. Yeah.
so. I think, and yeah, I didn't really look at it beforehand, but looking at it now, Glass and Foot and Aftermath look like they both have clinched a playoff spot at this point. I think no matter the outcome of the rest of the season, they have no
Yeah.
way to drop out of the playoffs. So just something to note on there.
Trying to think which teams are definitely eliminated.
Valk's Ascent is definitely eliminated.
SDG.
SDG and Genjutsu are, well, they're not definitely eliminated. They're not mathematically eliminated yet because Guyana Gates and Dark Mount both have 2 wins. If they were to lose
Yeah.
out and Genjutsu or SDG were to win out, there could be a way they could possibly climb up.
I feel
But
like Dark Mountain and Gahana are going to be fighting for that third spot.
yeah,
And well, I say that, but Republic did change their roster. We'll see how far
yeah,
they
I was
fall.
gonna say I think, but like
If
it's literally gonna be a throw up between those 3 teams, between Rebels,
2 and
Guyana
3,
Gates,
yeah.
and Dark Mount for whoever gets those playoff spots, and I can't predict it. I mean, I have no way to predict that. All those teams are kind of closely ranked, but we're getting a little off topic here. We can get into that stuff
Yeah.
a little bit later here. Let's get back into our predictions here. Our next prediction.
Can I actually say something before we move off?
Good.
It's just something I want to say to VD. Like, obviously, I'm no longer on the team or anything.
Yes.
We all know that.
Yep.
But what I want to say is, and this kind of goes for any team, we just kind of we roughly brushed on it. Like, we listed off 2 or 3 teams that have their season is pretty much it's done. It's like there's no
Yeah.
way of a return or anything
Yep.
like that. So this is going out to anybody, and I'll probably touch on this again later. As much as your season is over and you're feeling absolutely down, you're feeling shit or whatever, look at this in a way that you have, we're on week 4, we've like 2 or 3 weeks left of games?
Yeah, we have 3
And then
weeks
we've
left.
got playoffs. So we roughly have about 6 weeks. We've about a month and a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, your mic was making weird noises there.
Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I thought it was mine, and I was like, oh no.
Okay, cool. But no, I want to simply get there to the fact that you're actually at an advantage for season 4. what you should be doing is simply getting those time together and nail down and prep for the next season. As much as it is bad right now, look at what's not working. Look at the reasons why you aren't getting wins and develop on that and look for the next season. Because it isn't over.
Yeah, and you make good points there. Like we did last year or last season, we're going to do the same thing where the people who didn't make the playoffs are still going to have a chance to fight for like the season-ending rankings, and all of that's going to have an effect on next season. The same way it did this season, where your interdivisional matches are based on your current or your end of season rankings. We're going to do the same thing next season. So there's still a a motivation to win games because your end ranking will still have an effect on the future. So just keep that in mind as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
So Zen's Garden versus Eclipsed. This none of us really saw this coming.
The only 4-0.
Yeah, none of us would have seen this coming. We all thought this was going to be a coin flip of a game where it could go either way. Both teams are pretty good, and man, did it not turn out that way at all.
I will say this though, at points it didn't look like a 4-0.
Yeah.
Like I was watching, I think it was even first map, or even same with Hanamura. I was literally looking, I was like, how in God's name was this a 4-0? Like everybody, like it was either ult here, popped off, 4Ks, 3Ks. It was so back and forth. And it was so unrewarding.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a 4-0 over the other team, but all the maps were close.
Yeah.
And like it could have gone any direction. But it's just Zen's Garden finished strong.
And like it's what I noticed as maps went on. It was like as much as Eclipse tried so hard to kind of win over on Zen would just know exactly what to do and would stomp them. But then Eclipse would come back, would know what to do, stomp them. It was just back and forth. But whenever Zen did it, when it wasn't a point map, Zen would they did it twice better.
Yeah, and I still think Zens are pretty strong. We'll see in the power rankings this week. They're still a team that's top 4 in the conversation. Division 1, you still have a chance to... It's not mathematical that Aftermath have the first spot. If they can find a way to win out the rest of the season and Aftermath lose a couple games, you can see one of these teams still take that first spot. So there's still a fight for... within the division. It's not set in stone yet, and I think Zens are going to be a team that can definitely make a run if they try to.
Oh, definitely. We've seen this before. We've seen this.
Yeah.
This is literally last season all over again.
Yep, we should have known.
Because Woodballs is coming out of hibernation.
Yeah.
This dude was so hungry this game.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's like they have a different gear they turn on once it gets towards the end of the season and into the playoffs.
It literally is.
They're a totally different team. It's crazy.
They're coming for you, Cloudy.
Yeah. Good thing we already played them.
Something. Oh, you already played them?
Yeah, we already played them first week.
Oh, who's playing? Like not this. Like in 2 weeks' time. Who's playing? Because I'm just thinking that most likely going to have to play against Sens on...
In 2 weeks, they're playing against Valk's Descent, so in the last week.
I'm just going to mention Temple of Anubis and leave it there.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep moving here. Our next match to talk about is Glass and Foot versus Republic Rebels. And Glass and Foot came out with a 3-1 win. They won the first 3 maps, lost the last map, like I said earlier, just I think due to the fact that they weren't, not necessarily trying as hard, but they didn't have the same fight in them that you do when you're trying to win the game. You already win the game, and it could have easily been a 4-0. I think any of us can say that. It could have easily been a 4-0 to Glass and Foot, and Glass and Foot continue just dominate and show why they're number 1 in their division. They're number 1 team, depending on whose power rankings you ask. And honestly, the power rankings, I think between Aftermath and Glass and Foot, it's kind of 1A and 1B. I don't even think one of these teams is number 2. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
200%.
I'll agree to
I
it, and the
actually,
pure fake Shimano goes higher by that logic.
I think like it's so hard. These two teams are obviously very good. Glass and Foot very good. And we'll see what comes of it once we. I mean, we're getting really close to the playoffs here. We're only 3 weeks out. We're over halfway through the season, and it's just flying by. So we will see.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to like have the two teams book a friendly match so it doesn't affect league standings, and just have that match
Do they play at all?
full playoff starts.
I'll give you this, okay? I was actually thinking of this idea earlier. They're in the bye week, so the top 3 teams make it, and the first seed gets a bye week. How cool would it be if the first 2 seeds play each other on like a friendly match on their bye week?
I mean, I feel like that'd be good.
And it
Yeah.
keeps them
Warmed
fresh.
up, yeah.
Exactly.
and you have to
But
play
they
your
all
worst
have
roles.
to play blindfolded.
Somehow
I
they
wanna
still
see-
win.
We're only allowed to play clap shoot a flag. That's it. You can't, no other game mode. No.
I am-
Only
I
on
love-
Paris.
Never.
But as far as the GIF and Republic game, you could definitely tell Republic was having some issues that week. They just weren't as coordinated as they have been in the past.
Well, to
'Cause,
be
like-
fair, half the team just
Yeah, half the
I'm
team is
blowed.
gone, and it's like when you have a team implode on it like that, it's like going into that week, people were expecting it to be a close game, and then coming out of it, it just wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And-
feel so bad.
Yeah, it was kind of underwhelming based on what we thought this game was going to be, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like to be
Anyway.
fair, it's a common trend this season. Like nearly every week, the second week, a team is just kind of like fell asunder. But obviously, had the free agents to come in. It's just a trend.
Yeah, I'm not
Who's
sure
next
why.
week? I wonder.
Yeah.
Wait, so who? Actually, no. Okay, let's speed run the next 2 because we want like
Yeah.
a 2-hour podcast.
Genjutsu versus Darkmount. This one, there's not too much to talk about here, right?
I
Um,
was in the game. No, they're just
We'll run over
I-
this
I
one.
don't
It
wanna
was
talk
3-1
about
Darkmount.
3-2.
3-2. 3-2
3-2
Darkmount.
Darkmount. So Genju finally got their first map wins, but
Good. Yeah.
on the backs of like 3 players.
And same thing with SDG. They finally got a first map win in their match. That
Yeah.
was the other game we're going to cover, but
And
it's
Dark-
good to
No,
see.
it's
yeah,
like no, it was good to see, but like it wasn't like
it wasn't
GG won,
interesting
but like
game.
it was
Yeah.
wasn't a good showing.
Yeah,
still.
I was only able to watch map 1 of the GG versus SDG, and SDG actually looked pretty good. And I was like, oh man, maybe SDG can win a match here.
Yeah,
And
Well,
I
here's
saw
the main thing.
And I saw the result, and that was that.
Here's the main thing, and I am so proud, but it still need work. Did you notice STG switched?
Oh,
They played off the meta.
Wow.
No, honestly, I'm not taking the piss out of you. I'm actually so happy to see that they're able to switch things up.
Yeah. And they're not mathematically
That's all I
eliminated yet,
got.
like I said. So they could still win out and see what happens, but yeah.
Yeah, like that's what this is. Like, be funky, be creative, work, do whatever works for you.
Exactly.
But sometimes you got to run the meta.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes.
there was times where they probably should have run the meta. Still, so happy to see that they weren't running the Symmetra into when it wasn't working.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. As long as they're not running double shield, you can pretty much play whatever the hell you want,
Yeah, double shield,
and it's great.
like,
Double
it's,
I hate that meta. I'm sorry.
it's literally, it stops so many heroes from being effective. So,
Snipers,
I'm gonna be honest,
goodbye.
I'm surprised like people
Yeah.
haven't complained about it so much. We're just like everyone agrees to ban double shield.
It's like
alright.
last season. Everyone
Bring
agreed
back
to ban
goats.
goats, dude. Ban goats, dude.
Yo,
Bring
goats is
back
actually
goats.
fun. Goats was better than double shield.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Imagine
maybe.
double shield goats.
When
Oh
played right.
my God.
Goats was fun for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, I got bored really quick.
Yeah.
Bear in mind,
So
just hate
let's.
the Ryan main.
Yeah, I know.
Let's keep moving here because obviously we don't want a 2-hour thing here. So that kind of recaps all of the matches, right? We covered all of them there. Let's move on to the power rankings, as we always do. And the power rankings this week, pretty underwhelming. There were only 3 teams that moved around, and the rest all stayed the same. As we said, Aftermath and Glass and Foot, 1A and 1B. They're up there. They're doing their thing, and that's that. The biggest, I wouldn't say surprise, but the biggest thing this week was TLM jumping up to number 3. And, I mean, we can't talk enough about them. We've been talking so much about them over the past week and this week, and see what they can do. The fact that Aftermath didn't lose a map the entire season up until this game against TLM, where TLM won 2 maps, that I think says it in its own there. So they're jumping up to number 3. Zen's Garden are up to number 4, and Shimada Samurais are down to number 5 just because TLM passed them. That's the only reason they went anywhere.
I disagree with it.
So Zen's and
Highly
Shimada
disagree with
both dropping down from Zen's was in 3, Shimada was in 4, so now it's TLM, Zen's, Shimada. And the rest of the rankings are all exactly the same as last week. So Eclipsed 6, Valk's Ascent 7, Republic Rebels 8, Darkmount 9, Gana Gates 10, Genjutsu 11, and SDG 12.
Can I ask how VD's 7?
Yeah, I'm actually confused on that.
They're 0
I
and
swear.
4, and we have Gahana and Darkmount both 2 and 2, and you ranked them lower, I think.
Well, to be
So I
fair,
think
we've
it's
got
the
a
division-
1-3 team against a free above 2 3-1 teams.
I think
So-
it's the division that they're in.
The division they're in.
And like Valk's Descent is playing against Aftermath, playing against TLM, playing against Zen's, playing against Shimada. These are literally
Yeah, actually,
4 out of the top 5
Cloudy.
teams. So you look at that, and then you look at Division 2, where Darkmount, Guyana, SDG, Genjutsu, bottom
Cloudy,
4. So
I hate
good,
to be that guy.
be that
but
guy.
I've noticed some mistakes with the power ranking sheet.
Oh, boy.
You said the lowest folks were placed was 7.
No, I
placed them
didn't
10th.
I didn't update that picture yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get a
So I'm
chance
just
to do
looking
it.
at another data.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not editing this out, so I don't feel like editing the podcast. So.
He also addressed
Hashtag throw Cloudy under the
started.
bus.
No, I just didn't update it yet, so that's why. But other than that, everything is just about the same there. And yeah, so let's move on to our predictions for the next week here. We're looking at week 5 predictions. There's some good matches, there's some bad matches, but let's run through all of them. We'll start on the top here with Aftermath versus Eclipsed. And this one could be close, but it will probably be a little lopsided according to our predictions here. I've predicted 3-1 Aftermath. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a 4-0. I think Eclipse do have a good couple pieces. I think they could win a map, whether it be like map 4 or whether it be map 1. I think they could win a map, but I don't think they're going to win the match. I think Aftermath will win that match. What do you guys think?
No, I completely agree. Like if you look at Eclipse, they have, as you said, they have a series unit, but you kind of notice, and I did notice it when like watching certain Eclipse games, that they kind of like to rinse and repeat, and it kind of comes too predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what their win condition is probably after a map and a half. What I mean by a map and a half is simply you might get that fight halfway during the next map, but then you've clicked on to what works, pick them off, and next thing, it will go lopsided. If they can surprise us, then that's good.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, the thing with Eclipse is they have really talented players, but rather than following one playmaker and following on that plan, they all try to make the plays, and that's what's biting them in the ass, so to speak.
Well, yeah, they have so many playmakers. They have Dizzy, for example, and yet they still lost 0-4 to Zen's Garden, and Dizzy just wasn't getting the picks. It's like they rely too much on one thing.
Yeah. And maybe it's because Dizzy just hasn't gotten synergy with them yet. He's only been there for like a week or so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. Did everybody predict? I don't know. Did you guys say your predictions?
Well, I predicted 4-0.
I
think
said
I'm the only
4-0.
one.
I
No,
said
I said
3-1.
Right, this man has a brain as well.
I said 4-0. Yeah, I just say 4-0.
All right. Zen's Garden versus Shimada. This is. I think this one could go either way. This is like going.
Yeah.
If there's one game I could pick on this list here, that's gonna be the closest match this week. It's this game
It's
right
that
here,
one, yeah.
for sure.
3 of us did 3-2, and then we have Lucky with the 3. So he's still not being sensible, but
This
No,
game
it's
like
just
pissing me off.
like we got to look at it.
That's what it is.
Like we've seen, like obviously when we were early on in the season, we were like Zen's Garden, what has happened to him? Last year, Tornado at the time, we were like, what is going on?
Yep.
All of a sudden, same like last season, they struggled, improved, and I'm seeing it again.
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. I'm favoring Zen's Garden because I'm going off the trend that they set.
Yeah.
If SS beat them, then that's unbelievable. Well done. You've beat a team that is probably the most hungriest and probably wanting to chase number one spot.
Yeah. Exactly. And as we pointed out earlier, the winner of this match is going to be the one who can probably clinch a playoff spot, and they're going to be safe. The winner of this match is going to make the playoffs. We can say that confidently. So this is a huge game for both teams. And let's not forget that Zen's Garden are the defending champions here. I mean, they have the same people we were talking about at the beginning of the season. We were talking about them of being a top team, coming in number 1 in the season still. They're still like a scary team to face. They haven't lost that many people. They haven't really lost anybody really. And they're still able to do that, and we saw it last week against Eclipse, and I think we're going to continue to see that throughout the rest of the season here. And Callum, good.
All right. So usually when I talk about a team, I do a bit of trash talk. However, I'm like, I can't trash talk Liz no matter how hard I try. So I'm going to do something against you, the Vegas. All right, let me give you some facts and statistics here.
Numbers.
You guys have predicted SS to lose every single game. And the only time they've lost is when a Papega messed up SRs. Apart from that, they have gone on a 3-game win streak. Every game they're looking better, they're looking stronger, they're looking hungrier. They're on a mission to prove themselves. Every game they're underestimated. Every game they're predicted to lose. And every game they prove you wrong. And once we beat Zen's Garden, I'm not saying this is the biggest test yet, but once we beat them, we better be higher to 5th place, man. That's all I'm saying against you.
Yeah, I will say that. One thing we were talking about earlier before the podcast, we were talking about the fact that Shimada have not gone up against one of the top teams yet. And this is their opportunity to prove that they belong with one of the top teams.
They faced the what was currently ranked as the number 2 team.
In Eclipsed?
Yeah. But they were still ranked number 2 at the time because that's when they were on their hot streak.
Yeah, but now we see kind of what Eclipsed are, and we see where they're at now, and that kind of messes it up. But right now, so yeah, Zen's Garden, top 3 team. If you go out and beat Zen's Garden, Shimada's going to be number 3, hands down.
Yeah, you'd happily have my third vote.
Yeah.
You'd happily have it.
Yeah. So.
And then when we beat Aftermath, we get number 1.
let's calm our horses.
Yeah. That match is week 7, and that's going to be a great match.
I hope you're not too comfy on that number 1 spot. Just
I am looking forward to that one for sure. But yeah,
so lose your next game for us.
That being said, I have predicted Zen's Garden 3-2, and what have you guys predicted here?
I predicted 2-.
What was that?
Sorry, what did you predict?
Yeah,
you could have.
Oh, sorry. 3-2 to Shimada.
I like this man. He has a brain. He really does. He can come again.
No,
I think Shimada and Zen, it's obviously going to be a close game, but I think Shimada is just going to get that one little bit, and just it's going to be enough to win on the 5th map.
Yeah.
No, like it is a tough one to call. Like
I do see the hunger that Shimada has. You're going to win.
Yeah. Like SS are on the well. To be honest, both teams are on the wave. So, like,
Yeah.
it's whoever's one cresses first.
It's definitely the one to watch this week.
Yeah, definitely. It's the hot match.
Yeah, and Caleb, you can give your prediction here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna not even I'm dumb enough to say this isn't gonna be an easy 4-0. I'm not just gonna throw a random throw out 4-0
Yeah.
out somewhere. I'm moving 3-2 to SS.
Okay, yeah.
That's
But
fair. That's fair.
I definitely
I'm
think
gonna be honest,
we.
I have mad trust in each and every one of my players. We
Mhm.
proved last week any single one of us can come out of nowhere and bite you in the ass. It's not just one person.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a map 5 game, and it's going to go one way or another. It's hard to tell. Let's move on to the last Division 1 matchup we got here. It's Valk's Descent versus TLM. And this one, we have all predicted the same.
No.
That does not happen
4-0.
often at all. It's going to be pretty lopsided. As we saw like from Valk's Descent in the past couple of weeks, they haven't been the team that we thought they were. TLM, on the other hand, have been the team that we didn't think they were, but in a good way. They've rose up the power rankings.
Well,
And
guys,
This
to
is
be
going to be
fair,
the biggest upset.
there's no
yes.
one of the original TLM left on that roster anymore. I don't think. Maybe one person, but majority of the original TLM roster is no longer on TLM.
And real quick, let me say this. So I didn't get to say it yet, but all of our predictions were 4-0 to TLM. But let me say real quick, TLM I think is like the perfect picture of how you should rebuild, right? They literally went out, like you said, they rebuilt their roster, and now they've gained synergy over the past couple weeks, and now look at them now. They're one of the top teams. So
If TLM loses, this is the biggest upset, I think, so far.
oh yeah, this would be the biggest upset of the season if TLM loses this match somehow.
And I want you to
Question
take
to
this,
SDG,
VG.
please.
Listen to that quote. This would be the biggest upset. I'm not on the team anymore, but I would love for you to do it. As much as I have 4-0 TLM, just get together.
Yeah,
Win.
I mean, I'd love to see them do it. They're really nice people, and they're fun to be with.
Take the win away from TLM. Take something from one of these top teams, and then show them that you're just not there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just give me more reason to take them away from that number 3 spot.
Exactly.
Is that all you're worried about?
Yeah. He wants to see
I'm
all the
just
top
giving
teams.
you-
Yeah, I'm
I'm-
mad, bro. We like the way we played
Callum,
last
they're
week. I'm
relying on
mad.
you losing. They're relying on you losing.
Richard, we had Ginger begging Fauks to beat us, so TLM could stay in playoff contention.
And they still are. They're still definitely
still
in
are.
contention. They just need a couple miracles here to make that
But
happen.
if either Sens or SS win 2 in the next 3 games, then they're out.
Yep, exactly. So we'll see.
Well,
TLM control their own fate though if they can win out. So you know.
Right.
Let's move on to the next match. It's gonna be Glass and Foot versus Dark Mount. What do you guys think about this
I'm
one?
disappointed in all you guys. You put a 4-0 against Dark Mount. I think you're underestimating this.
I think it's
you're
just
underestimating
not underestimating. It's just the fact that Glass and Foot are so good. I think that's all I'm saying. Is that Glass and Foot
I
are
do
very
think
good.
they're really good, but their roster did go through some changes. They did lose their star DPS.
I
And
don't.
I mean,
has
Dark Mount-
casual
They've still
played?
got star players. They've still got.
I can't deny that, but Dark Mount
Serena.
also picked up some better players. It's just I think Dark Mount's issue right now is they haven't had enough time to synergize with those new players.
Yeah.
What I love about Dark Mount, and I think if you were to take each section, be it the DPS, tank, and supports, if you were to play DPS against DPS, I think it would actually be an insane game.
Yeah. But
It would be a serious game to watch.
here's
Yeah,
the thing
you would
about
have
Dark
me
Mount.
and Mad Dog.
Here's the thing about Dark Mount. We've been saying the entire season so far. We're in week 5 now. We've been saying the entire season. Oh, okay. Dark Mount just needs to synergize. They need to get used to the new players. They need to synergize. And we're here now, week 5. We're still not seeing it. And I think that's what the problem is. I think
you're gonna see us as a whole new team this week. Watch, man.
I would love to see it, but all I'm saying is that we've we've been hanging on the fact that like Darkmount have a lot of talent. We've been saying it since the draft. We've been saying Darkmount have a lot of talent and they can do great things. But now we're in week 5. We're over halfway through the season and we still have not seen it from Darkmount. So I think we need to see some of that talent in order to have trust that they could actually go far in the playoffs and do good things. So and one thing is that this team does have a spot in the playoffs. So I mean, if they can get it
It's the
together,
perfect moment.
exactly. If
This
they
is
can
the
get it
time-
together,
even if we lose, but we take 1 or 2 maps away from Glass and Foot, it could be a game changer just for Darkmount.
I think Division 2 is going to come down to map differential when we talk about
Yes.
playoff spots. So in that perspective, Darkmount still are in contention for the playoffs. They could definitely be in the playoffs very easily if they start turning things on now. You know, there's only 3 weeks left. You need to do it now. But if they can make it into the playoffs and they start to play well, then Darkmount's going to be a team that we can see going further in the playoffs. But I think we just need to see it first. That's all.
You'll see it.
All right. So all that being
You heard it here
said,
first.
all that being said, we all have 4-0 to Glass and Foot, except for Tyler.
I'm sorry, but I gotta.
Yes.
I do have us losing. Obviously I'm new to the team, so I don't have enough experience with us to give us a better prediction, but I do think we'll take 1 map.
So
This man
3-1
just wants
for
played
Glass and
time, that's
Foot.
what he's doing.
What?
He's trying to
No.
predict that he wins 1 map, so he gets more.
There
I
it
got
is.
you. I know. I see what you're throwing down.
Callum, do you
It's
want
all
me
a
to
conspiracy.
switch to Zen Gardens winning?
Oof. There it is.
Yo, you can do it. It just makes the bragging even better when we do win.
Oh, man. All right. Let's keep the wheels turning here. Let's move on to Republic Rebels versus Guyana Gates, which 2 weeks ago you would have told me this game and showed me this game, and I would have said Republic Rebels 4-0. Easy. But now we look at it, and now these two teams are pretty closely ranked. As far as Republic Rebels and Guyana Gates go, I think that Guyana Gates
I'm still
have...
giving a 3-1 to Republic.
Yeah, I think Guyana Gates still show what we saw, like, what is it, the past 2 out of 3 weeks they've won a match. So I think they're a team that's still on the rise, but they still have work to do, obviously. And this week, if they can beat Republic Rebels, I think that it would show a lot from Guyana Gates, and it would definitely move them up the rankings if they can beat Republic Rebels, because we see they're still climbing, and this would be another step in their climb. That all being said, what do you guys
I think the maps are going to be close, but I think it's going to be a 3-1 to Republic.
Yeah.
I feel like the maps are going to be really, really close, like almost overtime every map close.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm gonna cook you up a little. Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Huh?
Sorry, no, you were gonna say something? Or...
No.
Oh no, sorry, I thought you were gonna say something. Sorry, Jesus.
Come on, Lucky.
I'm all
Get it
over the
together.
place.
You say I'm the
right,
Pega.
I'm gonna cook you up a little bit of a recipe here. Okay, this is the winning recipe for GG if they're gonna beat RR. It is gonna come down to, now, believe me, correct me if I'm wrong, it is Derek. Derek Sutton plays for GG, didn't he?
No, I think he plays Res DG. If we're
I
talking about the
believe
same
so
person.
anyway. I think it's
Let's
Derek.
look at the
anyway.
rosters.
Yeah, let's look at the
I probably
rosters.
should have done that beforehand, Papega.
Because I'm pretty sure
I'm
Derek
slowly
is the
turning
guy.
into Callum.
I'm pretty sure Derek's the guy that plays for SDG.
Yo, I actually get the predictions right. Thank you very much.
But let's look at GG. There's nobody named Derek on their team, so.
Is there not? Well, scratch that. Anyway. Another oof. Not only am I wrong with my predictions, I'm wrong with rosters. Anyway.
There you go.
So the winning recipe, I think, is going to simply come down to Nightflix, Meme, and Veil. If they can do what they did pretty much against STG and improve on it and be a little bit more synergized, I believe that that is their winning recipe against RR.
Yeah.
I still have RR to win, mainly because I don't think they will. But if they do, then GG could easily take this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right, before I say anything, I'm actually going to double check the roster, like some people. Let's have a look at RR's roster currently. And let's
Okay.
Trill, Delirium, Tattoo, Shadow, Yami, Ray. I don't even know half their team. Okay, they've got Eleanor back this week. They've got Tattooed. They've got Yami. They've got Low Gamer. He's a solid hit scan player.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow's a solid off tank. We got Trill and Delirium. It is possible, like, they've got talent, but it depends how well they come together.
Yeah. Yes, thing. And we'll see.
It's like, if they can, like, the key to beating GG is, because G&D live on how hard meme pops off. If they can limit meme and then take out one of the healers who just cut the lifelines off, that's their key to win.
Yep, and on that note, I
So the
have...
last one is SDG versus Genjutsu.
I don't think... Did we say predictions here? My prediction here was a 3-2 with Republic Ripples coming out on top. I think it's going to be closer than what everybody else thinks.
3-1 RR, I've put.
Yeah.
3-1 RR.
Yeah.
Yo, this dude
Yeah,
seriously can,
3-1,
like,
yes.
come
I'm
back
3-1.
again.
Oh, sorry, 3-2, sorry. I'm going home.
See ya. So yeah, let's move on to our last match here. What was it? SDG versus Genjutsu, right? Yeah. Okay.
I have 3-2 to SDG. It's
Yep.
It's like this dude's just so my predictions.
they're
are
both
copy-paste.
teams just both teams just need to get their shit together. And
Yeah.
this is gonna
Isn't
be
this
their
like an-
first one for
This is
either
an
team.
old rivalry as well, right? They used to be in the same league before Talon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I heard about that. Yeah, I think
Yep.
so.
I think so too.
I think it's gonna be a close one, but I think SDG's just gonna pull it off because Genjutsu just. I'm sorry, you guys got work on your communication, especially the alt part, man.
Yeah. I think SDG are gonna win this one too. I
I
think.
honest, I'm saying no. I'm going Genjutsu because I know they still have some tattoo talented individuals. Judge Battlefall is still there. Whether he stays there will
Judge is there and
wait and
Omni is
see.
there, but
Yeah.
they
And then
still
you
got
look
that
at
break.
go back to
play.
SDG though, and name me their carry.
Well, Roxas,
They don't need a carry; they're a
obviously,
team.
But yeah, I don't think.
They do actually have a carry, and it actually is corrected. Veil is not on.
Well,
on GG.
And
it's
we're
actually on.
we're forgetting something here. The fact that SDG picked up like what, 3 new players this week.
Yeah,
So
well, so did Genjutsu.
yeah, and I think I don't know. I think SDG, like Fireball, is pretty good as well. Veil of Hades is pretty good. Roxas is pretty good. A lot of people wanted Sweet Noodle, so I guess that means he's good.
I think we're forgetting that Genjutsu is lacking the effect of a coordinated team.
Yes, that's the biggest thing about SDG. They have
do
to get
have a couple
synergized.
standouts, but they don't have any synergy. Their whole roster changed. They have one original starting 6. They have one.
Yep.
They have Omni. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is pretty much the battle for last place. The battle for last place is in this.
Yeah,
game.
this is the first win for either team.
And we already said that Division 2, SDG can still have a chance to make playoffs if like things obviously are perfect.
Darkmount and Gahana would have to lose every match.
Yeah, exactly. So it would
Is
like,
the
in
only
the
way,
same
and
situation as
SDG
TLM.
has to win everyone. Yeah.
yeah, it would be
I'll make-
hard, but
I'll make this a little bit more interesting, okay? So this week they're obviously playing against each other. Next week, VD play against Genjutsu. Whoever. So if Genjutsu lose against STG,
they're done.
and they could potentially lose against VD, that guarantees Genjutsu being last, STG coming out on top of them.
Yep.
So this game is absolutely huge for avoiding last
I feel this is just
I'm
the
with-
next 2 weeks for Genjutsu. It's a battle for them if they're going to be ranked bottom. It's
Yeah, exactly.
Both-
And-
Say whoever wins this as well. Sorry if I could just cut over someone, but you mentioned Darkmount and GG had to lose all the games. Well, the next week Darkmount is against SS.
Oh.
Yeah, and SS is gonna lose, so that's the second loss for them for TLM to climb. So yeah, let's help TLM out.
You know what? I take back every nice thing I said in this podcast, GG. Get the fuck out of here.
Ooh,
Yo, Clary, make me older so I can kick this guy.
No, I'm gonna help Ginger out. So
And you
SS
know what?
can
You guys
lose
want to
their
agree
2
with
out
that
of 2.
prediction? Go ahead. I'll just climb even more points.
Oh man.
Yeah, get even more points.
Well,
Speaking
Callum,
of
if it
points,
scares you at all, I was going it back and forth with Karisu during the puck, so
we'll see.
I'm gonna keep Karisu on his toast. That's my main goal for that match.
Speaking of points, as Callum brought up, our prediction rankings are getting a little spicy here. Callum had a great week last week. He predicted the right ones. He is now in first place with 32 points. And
Yeah, he's a pagan now,
and
guys.
Lucky kind of caught up a little bit, but is still in third place. I am in second place with 27 points, and Lucky is in third with 25 points. So Callum kind of ran away with it, but we'll see. Maybe we can.
It's
Since I predicted Zens this week,
Shimada to
maybe
win
it's-
gets you points, lads. It's
Every time
almost like
Shimada
you
wins.
pick Shimada to win.
every time Shimada wins, Callum gains like 3 points against us. So we'll see.
I reckon if we, for one podcast, if we kept agreeing with Callum, he wouldn't be talking as much.
Exactly. That's what happens. That's what we need to
Do
do.
you know what? Just for that, I'm just gonna be quiet. For the psychology, motherfucker.
All right. On that note,
I'm insulting you in
let's
my mind.
let's wrap things up here. My name's Cloudy. Thank you for listening. I will see you guys next week, and peace.
Bye.